Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast. Today is Tuesday, 14th February 2017. I'm Fredicia Liburd. Earlier today, councillors from the Sugar Industry Diversification Foundation, SIDF, visited Nevis to get an update on projects the foundation is funding and also gave donations to the Charlestown Secondary School and also to the Nevis Island administration.
We decided that we'd make two presentations. One is the second drawdown for the athletic track, and we know that you want to get that finished in time for the sports, so that we know that that's going full steam ahead. And we are supporting the persons who are hosting the Leeward Islands Debating Society, which is your Charlestown Secondary School.
Chairperson of the board of the SIDF Board of Councillors, Dr. Robertine Chatterton, then presented a check of $10,000 to Principal of the Charlestown Secondary School, Edson Elliott.
On behalf of the Charlestown Secondary School and the Nevis Sixth Form College and the entire institution, the staff, the students, parents, of course, we would like to express our gratitude to the SIDF for their contribution to the debates. This would go a long way in helping us to defray the estimated costs, and we are hopeful that with their contribution that we'll be able to make the Leeward Island Debating Competition 2017 here in Nevis a memorable one.
Dr. Chatterton then presented the $3.5 million check to Premier of Nevis and Minister of Finance, the Honourable Vance Amory.
You've always, and the councillors have always been willing to respond to the expressed needs for development assistance for the Nevis Island administration. And I do want to express on behalf of the administration and the people of Nevis our greatest gratitude for your support for our developmental thrust.
Premier Amory then handed over the check to Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, Colin Dorr. Also present at the head table were McClure Taylor and Leon Lescott, both councillors on the SIDF board, and the Secretary of the board, Marguerite Foreman. Premier Amory then led the delegation on a tour of the ongoing SIDF-funded projects in Nevis. As part of the Team Unity government's second anniversary of celebrations, a town hall meeting was held at the St. Paul's Anglican Church Hall last evening, Monday 13th February. Seated at the head table were Prime Minister, the Honourable Dr. Timothy Harris, who spoke about the accomplishments of the Team Unity over the past 2 years, Senior Minister in the Federal Government and Premier of Nevis, the Honourable Vance Amory, who spoke on the rights and responsibilities of labourers, among other things, and Minister of Foreign Affairs in St. Kitts and Deputy Premier, the Honourable Mark Brantley, who spoke on the diplomatic ties that have been forged for St. Kitts and Nevis. Members of the head table made their presentations and took questions from the audience. The meeting was chaired by Minister of Communications in the NIA, the Honourable Alexis Jeffers, and the invocation was done by NIA's Cabinet Secretary, Stedman Truss. Also present at the town hall meeting were members of the federal cabinet, including Deputy Prime Minister, the Honourable Sean Richards, Minister of Tourism, the Honourable Lindsay Grant, Minister of Agriculture, the Honourable Eugene Hamilton, Minister of Communications, the Honourable Ian Liburd, Attorney General, the Honourable Vincent Byron, and Minister of State with Responsibility for Health, the Honourable Wendy Phipps, Speaker of the Federal House, the Honourable Michael Perkins, and Cabinet Secretary Josephine Huggins. The town hall meeting began at 7 p.m. and concluded at close to midnight. The second anniversary of the celebrations is being held under the theme, Good Governance and Accountability for Prosperity. In related news, member for Nevis 9 in the Federal Parliament, the Honourable Mark Brantley, reassured the audience that geothermal development is not dead. Deputy Premier Brantley made the assertion in response to a question from the audience.
The Nevis Island administration has been able to access $7.7 million from the SIDF for purposes of the geothermal in Nevis, $7.7 million. So we have been able to access that money to advance that particular project in Nevis. The question it appears that you're asking is, why is there a project in St. Kitts? And my simple answer is this, and I believe you have heard the Honorable Premier say that before, that the people of St. Kitts are entitled to determine if they have a resource on that island, just as we in Nevis are entitled to determine if we have a resource here. And certainly if we can harness a resource here, and we can harness a resource there, then we potentially have more energy that we can then not only use for ourselves, but also export potentially to neighboring islands.
The Honourable made it clear that there was no conflict and that it was evidence of a government that is working together, seeking to advance the best interest of the people.
But the NRP was there for 6.5 years. For those years, they were embedded with Mr. Douglas and the Labour Party, and they got not 1 penny to help with geothermal, far less anything else on the island of Nevis. So I want to make that clear, that when some questions are put to this government as to our record in less than 2 years of unity is we can show $7.7 million for geothermal. The other record of 6.5 years at the NIA level is not 1 penny for geothermal. So I think that speaks for itself.
The Nevis geothermal project is currently being developed by the Thermal Energy Partners, LLC TEP, through its affiliates, Nevis Renewable Energy International, NREI. There is a power purchase agreement in place and a series of final design reviews for its Nevis geothermal power plant is ongoing. Bruce Cutright, CEO of the Thermal Energy Partners, recently said they expect to have a fully completed geothermal plant by the end of 2017 that will generate electric power from a high enthalpy geothermal resource. Still to come, plans are ongoing for the Leeward Islands debating competition to be held in Nevis. The details are after this break.
On January 30, 2017, the Alexandra Hospital will be issuing health ID cards to all patients accessing service as part of the introduction of our Health Information System, HIS. The process is simple and will take just a few minutes. A photo will be taken of each individual accessing service, and within minutes, your card will be printed and issued. You will be required to present this card each time you access service at the outpatient department. We are craving the public's cooperation as we implement the new system, which will be of benefit to all. When fully operational, it will significantly improve the quality of service and reduce patient waiting time. Remember, the start date is January 30, 2017. Join the movement in health.
I got my card.
Welcome back. The Literary and Debating Society of the Nevis Sixth Form College will host the 2017 Leeward Islands Debating Competition, LIDC. The event, which is in its 45th year, commences on February 23rd to 26th nightly from 6:30 p.m. at the Nevis Performing Arts Center. Here is more detail about the competition to be held next week.
It's the Leeward Islands Debating Competition on February 23rd to 26, 2017 at the Nevis Performing Arts Center at 6:30 p.m. nightly. 7 countries participating: host country Nevis, St. Kitts, Montserrat, defending champions Antigua, Anguilla, St. Martin, and the BVI. Night 1, Debate 1, St. Kitts versus St. Martin. The high cost of youth unemployment relief programs outweigh the benefits. Debate 2, Nevis versus Montserrat. The global rise in anti-immigration sentiments is justified. Debate 3, British Virgin Islands versus Anguilla. Caribbean educational practices lag far behind other regions. Night 3, winner of Debate 1 versus Antigua. Caribbean cybercrime legislations will lead to suppression of free expression. Winner of Debate 2 versus winner of Debate 3. Lack of emphasis on the arts will be detrimental to human development in the Caribbean. And at night 4, winner of debate 4 versus winner of debate 5. The atrocity of our age is the $billions spent on sports.
In celebration of Black History Month, the Nevis Public Library mounted an exhibition on Monday, February 6th, with the theme From Africa to the Caribbean, Carving an Identity Through Dress. Chief Librarian at the Nevis Public Library, Anastasia Paris, gave an overview of the exhibition.
Now, this exhibition looks at the slavery period, first looking at the pre-Atlantic slavery time, how our African ancestors used head wraps, beads, shells and seeds as accessories. It also looks at the period during slavery when the style of dress was dictated by the planters and how the slaves were able to incorporate certain aspects of their African traditional dress. And then the exhibition moves on to the post-emancipation period when many free men and women, for one reason or the other, adopted European dress as a means of upgrading their social status. However, the peasants maintained most of their African traditional styles.
Paris implored persons to visit the Nevis Public Library in Charlestown to view the exhibition.
We have on display some head wrap samples, an outfit depicting traditional market wear, complete with apron and handkerchief, and also some photos of the national dress of different Caribbean islands, what is termed Creole dress. Now, this type of dress came about through a merger of African and European characteristics of dress. The exhibition is interesting and most of all informative. It shows how certain things we still practice today in terms of the way we dress evolved over this period of time. The entire general public is invited to view this exhibition, which will run for the entire month of February.
The opening hours of the Nevis Public Library are from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday and 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Fredicia Liburd. Thank you for viewing.
This one is going out to the land of my birth, Queen City, Nevis.
Truly, one of the few places that has an untouched beauty that has captivated the hearts of many. Nevis is everything you imagine.